This is the regular meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, September 21st. Please stand for our invocation led by Councilmember Frederick Richardson, District 1, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence following the pledge.
Eternal and all-wise God, it is again that the humble servant bow before you, thanking you for all of the blessings that you've bestowed among us. Father, we ask you to come in our midst today and help us that whatever we do today, you may get glory and honor. We pray that you might visit the family of Council President LaVon Manzi and give them the comfort they need to go on in your name's sake. Guide us and forgive us and keep us and cause your faith to shine among us. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we want to ask everyone to just go ahead and please take a seat. Just for a few moments this morning, we're going to take a brief moment at the council to do a reflection on our colleague that left his journey for his award, President Councilman Reverend LaVon Charles Manzi. Words cannot express the tremendous grief our city is experiencing over this tragedy of loss of our dear council president. He was a great servant leader with tremendous leadership skills. My brother and my friend will be greatly missed. Had an opportunity to meet LaVon when I first took council. I knew of him by serving on the school board and hearing him and seeing him on the 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock news. But when I took this seat, I had an opportunity to meet with, Reverend Manzi, and we was trying to get a Boys and Girls Club started on South DIP. And with the help of LaVon, going to some of the funds that he had, from the selling of several buildings, what the school board had sold at that particular time, was able to establish and help out with our first Boys and Girls Club on Dolphin Island Parkway. Not only that he was a good school board commissioner, but he was a great council member, one that I really enjoyed working with. Not to just prolong the time, because I can stay up here just about all day and talk about LaVon Manzi. But one thing that I was reflecting on last evening is when I had my incident over in South Africa, and how him and also Frederick, Richardson had reached out and say, hey, we got you, we got your back, citizens of District 3, if you need something, give us a call, give me a call, and that's what LaVon Charles Manzi had told me. And even though he's resting right now, well, I want him to know that I got his back until November 1st. That any citizen in District 2 need anything, not only that you can reach me at cj.small@cityofmobile.org, not only the telephone number to the City Council office at 208-7441, but even my cell, 604-4367. Any citizen of District 2, if you need anything between now and when a new person take their seat on November 1st, please reach out to me, along with my constituents in District 3. But he had my back then, and Brother LaVon Manzi, I got your back now. We're just gonna go by council districts, and we'll start with 1, then we're gonna go to 4, 5, 6, and 7, and anything from the administration or the clerk's office. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Was a person conducting an experiment among students to see how much they changed over the years and they started off with the kindergarten group, asking them, what do you think you want to be when you get grown? And some said teachers, police officers, engineers. They went on and on. She visited those same kids in the 12th grade, and none of them had that vision anymore. In other words, between kindergarten and 12th grade, somebody had destroyed the vision. They no longer had that vision. I don't know what I want to be. I don't know. I said that to say this. With all of the medical issues that Councilman Manzi had to live with over the years, he never lost his vision. Nothing stopped him from carrying out his vision. I met him on a youth council down here. And then he told us, one day I want to serve up there with you all. This was on the youth council. Not only did he serve up here with us, Lavon became the president of the city council. Mind you, he was now but 38 years old. I compare Lavon Manzi with the Energizer Bunny. Get 4 or 5 bunnies up there beating the drum. All of them stopped, but the Energizer Bunny. The Energizer Bunny, the slogan was that this Energizer Bunny would just keep on going. And this is how I characterize Councilman Manzi. He was not going to stop. We traveled all over this country together, he and I. It's probably hardly, it's not a major city, a major airport that we didn't go through. And when he got where he couldn't go through the airport to make his connections, we got us a wheelchair and I wheeled him. He didn't stop. We went to the National League of Cities. He ran for a position on the executive board, and he stood up there and told them his vision. He was elected on the executive board of the National League of Cities. He wouldn't stop. When we got ready to go overseas, I said, Doc, all you need to do is sit down. You're not going to walk overseas now. They're going to fly us. We just need to get to the airport, and I can get to there. We get there, we get the wheelchair, and we're going to move. We kept right on going. Over there, trying to get suppliers for Airbus. He did not stop going. We, just 3 weeks ago, if you look at his Facebook page, it says Lavon Charles Manzi, working for you in District 2. Mobile City Council is in session now. May I help you? Well, tell me what you need because we're getting ready to go into session. He put that up there every week. This was just 3 weeks ago. This is what he had up on his Facebook page. And the mayor said it over here this morning. He's a problem solver. If it's a problem, my email was cut off. He called me up. He said, Doc. I called him Doc. He called me Doc. He said, Doc, I want to meet with you about this email business. He's trying to bring that to an end. I met with him. He got with the mayor, and they cut my email. He was a problem solver. That's who he was, because his point is, there will either cut it on, that there will be more problems than what you think. You're going to cut his email back on. They cut my email back on. And neither sickness nor trouble. You know what it took to stop Lavon Charles Manzi? Death. All that other stuff that I'm sick, that's not enough. He was not stopping for that. It took death to stop Lavon Charles Manzi. He was dedicated to the cause, and he was not stopping. and it took death to take him out. We're going to miss him. I'm looking forward to us coming up with something to honor him, some way, somehow, to honor him. And I'm not talking about naming no street, Levon Charles Manzer Drive. That's not enough. We're going to have to do something that will really honor him for generations to come. And anything shorter than that, I'm voting it down. Nothing measly, nothing small. We got to do something big to honor Levon Charles Manzer. And I'll give my time up because I know you're all ready to go.
It is with heavy heart that each of us sit here and reflect on our time and our encounters with Levon Charles Manzer. Some may have read my comments yesterday. No matter what the fight, no matter what the cause, no matter how serious or whatever it was that day that we were encountering, he always smiled, that smile that only he had, and said, "Hello, John Charles." He would get the same back from me. "Hello, Levon Charles." And he would just smile. He was a gentle man with a fierce spirit. Anybody that has ever debated with him in private or in public knew that that task would not be easy. And when he won, and he generally did, here goes that smile again to kind of say, everything is well. And it was just it was a nice way of saying, got you again. He was a man of few words until it was really time to speak up. And he had an enormous vocabulary, and he was just an incredible speaker. I'll never forget the speech that he delivered for Martin Luther King Day about 4 or 5 years ago, I believe. Joe was with me, I know. Powerful speaker. And see, we're kind of looking at Levon Charles right now, our recollection, our recent recollection. And we see a body that had been worn down. But it wasn't so long ago that we were throwing out the first pitch at the Bay Bears. Fred was with me. It's me and Levon and Fred. And we were going to throw out the first pitch simultaneously. And Levon was acting a little bit nervous, and so I went over, I said, you know what we're going to do and everything? He said, "Oh, yeah." He says, "You mind giving me a few tips?" And I said, because I was a baseball coach, and I kind of puffed up a little bit, and I said, "Yeah, this is what we're going to do, and, and we're going to have this all set up, and just, give it what you got." He says, "Now, how do you hold it? What do you recommend?" And I gave him another tip. And we had three catchers out there, and okay, 1, 2, pop! I looked over, and Levon had thrown his a dead strike and just absolutely popped the glove. And here it is, that little smile again. Another, gotcha. He had incredible talents. He exercised those here professionally, and I know that he hasn't stopped. And I'm not questioning my colleague from District 1, but nothing has stopped him. He's one step ahead of us. He now knows the glory of the God that he worshiped and that he taught us about. There's no question in my mind that he's smiling, and he's first to know among us. I'll miss him, and I will honor him with the best that I can do in Mobile for as long as I'm here. Again, my most sincere and heartfelt condolences to his mother and to all who loved him.
In 2013, both Levon and I were running for the city council. And prior to the election, we arranged to meet each other for lunch. And he asked me to select the restaurant. Now, one thing that those who knew Levon well, knew was that he was a picky eater.
He was picky.
He was a very picky eater. And the restaurant I had us eating at did not really have the offerings that Levon would have chosen. But we had a delightful lunch. He never complained. He found a way to get through it. And we formed a bond at that lunch that carried through until the present day. A number of us have talked about how Levon decided at a very early age what he wanted to do. That's a very good trait, because if you know at 13 or 14 how you want your life to turn out, you're likely to get the life that you want. And Levon had this at that age, as an adolescent, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he never lost that vision. He pursued it with unremitting vigor throughout his life. He had on his desk upstairs, he had these little busts, 3 little busts of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Those men were his guide stars. That he had those busts on his desk for a reason. So whenever he came in and sat down at his desk, those 3 men were looking at him. And he never, never, never gave up in his determination to serve the public. Levon and I came from different backgrounds. And because of those different backgrounds, there were occasions when we disagreed on important issues. And we would disagree passionately. And sometimes inside his office with the door closed, or inside my office with the door closed, the people outside could still hear that disagreement because we were so exercised. But that never stopped us being friends. And it never stopped us having a very high respect and regard for each other. I'm going to miss greatly Levon Charles Manzi. He was a superb public servant for the citizens of the district in which he represented and for the city of Mobile. Levon Charles Manzi had a short life, but it was well lived. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I met Levon when he served on the youth council. It was the city-county youth council, and the drug education group pulled it together. The council created the energy and appointed our appointments. They were from high school, and Levon was a shining star. This was 1998. I believe it was Thomas Sullivan's appointment, if I'm not mistaken, who was the representative at the time. All of my colleagues have already said so many things that are in my heart as well, and that is the passion that Levon had for this town was amazing. The time that he sat as the youngest person on the school board, and then I think he might also have been the youngest elected, if I'm not mistaken, as well, to the city council. Every interaction with Levon was interesting isn't even the word to use. He sparked your passion as well because he challenged people. His ability to be so articulate at such a young age, because even as a student representative, he had that ability that only grew over time, and it was really admirable. He's truly a role model, and for me, the time that I was with him, either when he was youngster to when he was a peer and a colleague on the council, it was really a joy. There was never a time that he was not smiling. All of my colleagues have already said that. And you could agree to disagree, but never was he disagreeable. And that truly is really a sign of somebody's good character. And I know that his family ministered to him, loved him dearly, and I'm sure their loss is incredible. But it's already been stated, it's a loss for our community, and I know that anything that is done in his honor, yes, should be substantial, and I hope that that does happen on his behalf and in his memory. For me, I know that he was a blessing for me to have gotten to know and to serve with, and I know that his memory will always be a blessing from today for every day on. Thank you.
I too thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about Levon and my relationship with him. You've already heard so many stories, and we all have very similar stories about Levon, from all of the teasing that went on to the more serious side of our discussions. I have had many conversations with Levon over the years, some of them dealing with very difficult issues that we needed to resolve. Levon and I would call each other on the phone to discuss things, meet in person to discuss, to figure out how we can come to some sort of resolution. You know, he had my ear and I had his, and we developed a very good working relationship, but also a personal relationship as well, as we all did. You know, Levon was always teasing. We teased him, he teased us. You know, this council is really good about that. And for him, you always saw that glint, that little sparkle in his eye when you know he was getting at you about something. And when he would call John, John Charles, he had these greetings. He goes, Gina Gregory. And I'd say, Levon Manze. It was just the way we, carried on with each other. And Levon was so good at it. You've heard about his picky eating. Oh yeah, we picked on him for his picky eating. It was the funniest thing to watch Levon have to struggle through, but it was just part of the fun that we had as a group. Levon had the dream, he had the vision, he had the passion to fulfill his dream to be the council president. And the mayor, I think, really hit the nail on the head when he called Levon a peacemaker. And that's really what you have to do as the president of the council. You're working with two sides, and you're right in the middle. Levon was perfect for that role. He used his vision and his passion to help move the city forward, to work with the administration, to work with the council. He handled those duties beautifully. I will miss his big smile and his laugh, his phone calls, him just being here present and handling the duties of the day. When you talk about being 38, earlier, I was talking to one of the media members, and we were saying, what were we doing when we were 38 years old? Well, I was certainly not president of the Mobile City Council. And can you imagine at 13 having the vision to want to be a city council member? I was in middle school at 13. I certainly wasn't thinking about this sort of thing, but that shows you the kind of man that Levon was. We've had so many people and organizations sending in their condolences to us, and just an outpouring of support and love. And it's most deserved for Levon. We will miss him. He was a friend. We all respected him. And I look forward to honoring Levon in a way that will speak of his legacy in this city and in the state. Thank you.
Mr. President. I just want just a minute to talk about his boldness. I would pick him up to go to the airport. I noticed as we started rolling toward the airport, we were late. So I said, Doc, we're not gonna make the flight. He said, what time is it? So I told him what time it is. He said, we're gonna have to make the flight. He said, hold up. He called the director of the airport authority. He said, listen, Councilman Richardson and I are on a special trip. And he told the airport authority director what time the plane was supposed to leave. He said, we're not going to be there. And I'm calling you to stop that plane. He said, I want you to hold that plane for us. I said to myself, good God Almighty. I didn't say nothing. I said to myself, I don't believe the plane is going to be there. The plane was there. We got the plane was there. We got on the plane and left. Now, that's bold. I just want you to know, LaVon was a bold leader.
Mr. Vice President. On behalf of the city clerk's office, I think Marianne and I are the oldest, not in age, but
Operating.
employees having been in the city clerk's office the longest. We had the opportunity to meet Mr. Manzi when he served on the youth council. And from that time, we've watched him develop into the man that he became, president of the Mobile City Council. He was quite a character. I mean, some of the things that, he said with regard to, like, with his coffee, when he would ask one of the staff to bring his coffee, he wanted his coffee a certain way. And in order to convey that, he used me as an illustration for how he wanted his coffee. So,
Well,
and I overheard him when he did that, and I looked at him and he said, Madam City Clerk, this is not a Me Too moment. This is not a Me Too moment, Madam City Clerk. But he was an intelligent man, and he also had a sense of humor. And to his family, the city clerk's office wishes to express our condolences to his family, his friends, and the St. Joseph Missionary Baptist Church family. This prayer, eternal rest grant unto LaVon Charles Manzi, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.
Amen. At this time, we'll ask everyone to please stand for 1 minute. Let's bow our heads. Maybe seated.
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, Mr.
the mayor offered his condolences earlier, but on behalf of the mayor's staff, I'd like to offer our condolences as well. We share in the grief of a city that mourning, and we offer our condolences to his mother, to his family, to his friends, to the citizens of Mobile, and to you, the colleagues here on City Council. We would also like to join with you in honor of his legacy that LaVon Manzi has made for the city of Mobile, and also to assure you that we are committed to whatever the needs of District 2 are as we proceed forward. Thank you.
And thank you. And as at least three of the colleagues has stated that we need to do something really significant in remembrance of LaVon. I do have something in mind that's in my district, but But I want to talk to my colleagues first and to see how they feel about it, okay? Madam Clerk.
Roll call. President Manzi. Vice President Small.
Here.
Councilmember Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember Williams. Councilmember Daves.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Councilmember Gregory.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Again, good morning. Any person desiring to address the council must sign in indicating the resolution, ordinance, appeal, or public hearing agenda item before entering the meeting. When addressing the council, the speaker must state his or her name and address. Any person desiring to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must contact the city clerk office no later than 2:00 p.m. on the Thursday prior to council meeting. The subject he or she wishes to address must be identified and pertain to the City of Mobile business. Any person who has not given proper notice to the city clerk office and wishes to speak on a non-agenda item would not be allowed to address the council. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address the council. A bell will sound to indicate the end of 2 minutes. 1 minute remains for summarizing. The second bell indicates the time has expired. When addressing the council, there is no personal address to any individual council members. All statements are to be made to the chair, who will recognize any council member who wishes to respond. To maintain decorum, there will be no undue applause and a public outcry allowed. Madam Clerk.
Approval of minutes of September 14th.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Communications from the mayor's office.
No further communications.
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Appeals, we have a request for a waiver of the noise ordinance on October 30th on St. Stephen's Road.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Regina Alexander.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Regina Alexander, and I am the Chief Executive Officer for a nonprofit organization here in Mobile called the Bridge Center, Inc. We've been
Excuse me,
established.
let's get your address.
I'm sorry.
Your
Okay.
address.
328 South Sage Avenue.
Thank you.
We've been established since 2014, and we have some awesome partnerships with the Department of Human Resources, Ingalls Shipbuilding, the Career Center, WIOA. I wanted to come share some of the program and services that we provide in efforts to get the community involved, just to know that we exist and the type of things that we've been doing thus far. Our newest program is funded through WIOA, where we're able to provide GED testing and preparation for absolutely free. For the month of August, we were able to partnership with Ingalls Shipbuilding, and we have 30 guys that were able to be employed, and we collaborated with the City of Mobile Fatherhood Program, and we were able to get 4 of those guys employed with no experience, $24 an hour as a laborer, and a new position that's called an RMO, rest machine operator. So we are excited about some of the things that we've been doing. We are a very small agency with a lot of potential to grow and expand. And we need the community to know that we exist, that these services and programs are absolutely free. And we have some flyers, brochures, and business cards. If you guys could just assist us with recruiting those individuals that can take advantage of all that we have to offer. Thank you.
If I could comment, Ms. Alexander, thank you for that information. If you do have a flyer, a JPEG flyer that we could run in our newsletter, if you get that to the city clerk's office or to our council secretary, we could run it in our newsletter to get your information out
Absolutely.
to
We'll
our
love that.
readers. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ms. Alexander, also, thank you for coming down and making us known of you and your company. Question, you had mentioned something about the fatherhood program. Can you give us a 30-second what is all that about, what it entails, and et cetera?
Yes, actually, that program, I believe, is orchestrated through Commander Graves, and him and I established a relationship maybe about 4 months ago, and we were able to get an MOU incorporated just to establish the business that we have between the two entities. So we accept his referrals if you have guys that need employment, who wants training. We also collaborate with Maritime Training for those pipe fitting, ship fitting, and painting trainings for free that will allow them to create a career path between Austell or perhaps Ingalls.
Okay, so you're working through the police department?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Mr. President,
Mr. Richardson?
if you can send us a PDF that we can put in our newsletter, on our Facebook page. Otherwise, your point is, you need exposure. People need to know. Well, we can help you with that.
Absolutely.
But if you send us what you're doing in a PDF and where you're located, then get with the city clerk and she'll tell you what to do. If you send that to us, we'll put it in our newsletter. And so it's 7 of us. We got the whole city. Plus,
Absolutely.
we have a Facebook page, so we can help you.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Ms. Anton?
Oh, is that Ms. McAvoy up there helping her?
Yeah.
Good, okay, thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm here my name is Irene Anton, 2202 Clinton Street. I am the good shepherd of the council, according to my council person. Okay, on the corner of Somerville through Wellington, the elementary children walks to school. We're supposed to get a sidewalk for them because our council person have already put the money there. I called the mayor and I told a lie. I told him I was sitting on the interstate watching the cars go by. So he have consented to come to my residence and sit with me one day when he have time. And it won't be the interstate, it'll be the sidewalks we hope that we get for the children. This has been since 2018 that has been done. A Mrs. Green or somebody, I don't know who she is, was involved, but please help us with those children if it's possible. And if I can say one word about Mr. Chair, may I say one word about our president?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A whole lot of you all don't know that I would call him at his house and tease him about sitting so low in the chair. I told him he had to bring some and lift himself up because he was the shortest person in the chair. And he said, well, I'll bring something. And one day he looked at me and I said, and he had something to get him up a little bit. But he was a person that everybody should know. And that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Antone. I believe that your council member had named you Good Shepherd of District 1, not of the council. I think you named your own self of the council there. Madam Clerk.
Reggie Hill.
She elevated.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Now, colleges and high schools too may have traditions old, but none can boast the glorious birth of Murphy's Blue and Gold, alma mater. I rise today to speak on the matters that were presented by the City Clerk's office, but before I do so, I just want to give my regards and offer my condolences to the family of the late President Manzi. Much like Ms. Antone, we would talk on the phone as well. And recently, it had been a while, and for whatever reason, God put on my heart to call him this weekend. And I called him Saturday. He didn't pick up, but I left a voicemail. And so that kind of gives me peace, not knowing where we would be today. So I do want to just really extend my deepest condolences to his family, to the city, and to everyone who shared life with him. Mr. Vice President, members of the council, in the absence of our mayor to the administration, citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, good morning. Reggie Hill, 1007 Center Street. 64026, I see that this has been laid over. I just wanted to ask a few questions. There were supposed to be some updates from the administration. I'm wondering if the council received those as well. Excuse me. All zoning matters, I believe they should continue to come before this council. If there's anything in that body of legislation that says the administration will be able to approve any zoning without coming before this body, I don't think that's ethical for what we stand on, nor what the Zogby Act represents. So I hope that is very clear, and I will make that clear again in the public hearing. Regarding 02-033, I know that there were questions about pay scale and how individuals were hired. I know that was requested by the administration to be submitted to the council. I would like to know if that material has been provided as well. But I am again appreciative, as I stated last week, for the administration submitting that material. Regarding the 31767 with the ARP, I wanted to know if the council has been provided information in regards to what was sent to DC, as well as what organizations have submitted information based on what was provided by the Finance Committee initially, but then this body in other settings, at regular meetings and at additional committee meetings. And I want to know the state of public engagement as relations to moving forward. What has been said, what communications have been made to the public, and for those entities that have submitted information, when can they receive a response? And lastly, on the 08790 and 08792, as I've expressed many times, I've done my best for the past 2 months not to come up here and talk about these vehicles. But when we have as much as we have going on in the city, I just believe our priorities should be in a different place. Not that we don't have time to come back to these items, and I've asked for an inventory list. Even the late president said that he submitted information to the administration. I'd love to know what is the status on that, to know what the inventory list is. That might help me to understand why these keep showing up on the agenda week after week. But I just want us to really consider our priorities as we're utilizing taxpayer dollars. There are a lot of issues that could be touched on right now that I believe we have the resources to do. But until we do that, we cannot be shocked or surprised at the state of our community. Thank you for yielding the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Hill, and information that was sent to our, past President Manzi, we don't have connections to his email, so we don't know what all the administration has sent to him, and we just don't have the access to his emails. Anything else from the council? If not, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance is held over. 64026, ordinance to amend and restate Chapter 64 of the City Code zoning.
A move to hold over until a special meeting to occur 1 week from today in the afternoon.
Second.
Motion and properly second in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
64032, rezone property located at 2820 Spring Hill Avenue from B2 and B3 to B3. 02033, adopt the City of Mobile organizational chart.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion been properly second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Resolutions held over, 08749. I'll take all of these together. 750, 751, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59 are approving purchase orders to Delta Design Communications International, Inc., Verna Washington, Inc., J&A Contracting, BC Fabrication, Truck Equipment Sales, Koblenz Equipment and Parts Company, Samsung Equipment Company, Vulcan, Inc., Emergency Equipment Professional, 09760, authorize the transfer of funds from Historic Development's operating budget to their grant fund for a grant match of $10,761.74. 21761, authorize contract with J. Payne Organization for roof installation improvements, Taylor Park Community Center. 21762, authorized contract with Isaiah Engineering for mechanical upgrades at the Arthur R. Outlaw Convention Center. 21763, authorized contract with E. Cornell Malone Corporation for gymnasium roof recovery in Azalea Road Complex. 21764, authorized contract with Chris Brewer Contracting for Woodlawn Apartments asbestos abatement and demolition. 21765, authorized contract with Emerald Coast Utilities Authority for processing of recyclables. 25766, accept permanent sidewalk easement at Unity Park for use in Broad Street redevelopment project to create ADA sidewalks. 31767, update the American Rescue Plan for utility and rental assistance. 35768, recommend the lease of a portion of city-owned property at 200 Government Street for the USA Center of Intermodal Transportation and Logistics. 47769, vacate 2 public streets known as Osprey Lane and Egret Crossing. 6770, authorize MPD's participation in the 2022 Community Traffic Safety Program. 01771, authorized purchase agreement with Northeast Consortium for engineering education for 2 parcels along 3 Mile Creek for the 3 Mile Creek Greenway Trail.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and been properly second. Any discussion? I would like to talk about what's before us, Resolution 21-764. This is some great news for the, especially many residents that live off the Dolphin Island Parkway area. For several years, we have been getting complaints about the apartment complex just, looking bad and making the community look bad and et cetera, every week. And I get approached by citizens complaining about this particular property. This resolution here is to go ahead and have contracting services to go ahead and demolish many of those buildings that's over there, that's located at the apartment complex. And hopefully that, there will be a responsible landlord to come in or a developer will come in and go ahead and develop that property. It's a beautiful piece of property. As we learned last week, the property is valued over $1 million. So making good investment in our city will be for a good, investor to come in and really just take over that property, really to help to bring up the Dolphin Island Parkway community. And again, this is great news for the DIP area. Is there any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 03774 through 6787.
Mr. Vice President,
Yes, sir.
I move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of resolutions 03774 through 60787.
Second.
We have a motion, but properly second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk.
03774, extend the dissolution of the Animal Shelter Citizens Advisory Committee to December 1st, 2021. 37775, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off-premises only license for Your Thing Grocery Store on Katy Street. 58776, 777, and 778 are authorizing removal of weeds and assessing costs for removal of weeds. 6779, approve award of special bonus to employees of the aquatics program in the Parks and Recreation Department. 6780, 781, 782, 783, 784, 785, 786, and 787 are determining appropriations to Blessing Angels Gifting Tree, Windmill Place Homeowners Association, Tomonville Crichton Community Development Corporation, Hillsdale Heights Homeowners Association, the Explorer Center, Booker T. Washington Middle School, Theodore High School, and Scarborough Model Middle School serve a public purpose and approve payment.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
CIP resolutions being introduced, 21788.
Mr. Vice President,
Yes.
I move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of CIP resolutions. This Resolution 21788.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
21788, authorized contract with Neil Schaefer for Trinity Gardens Area 2018 street and drainage improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes.
Resolutions being introduced, 08789 through 21799.
These resolutions will hold over 1 week pursuant to council rules.
Call for public hearings, 41800, call for public hearing to consider an ordinance to amend and restate Chapter 64 zoning of the City of Mobile City Code, scheduled October 19th. 41801, call for public hearing to rezone property located at 1490 Telegraph Road from R1 and I1, from R1 to I2, jeez, scheduled for October 19th. 41802, call for public hearing to consider approval of a certificate of public convenience and necessity to Corey Brown doing business as Let's Ride Taxi Service, scheduled October 6th.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm hearing the call.
Announcements. Mr. Vice President, we would like to announce that the council meeting on scheduled October 5th will be moved to October 6th because we have election on October 5th.
Okay. All right, we're going to start kind of backwards on today. District 7, Ms. Gregory, no announcements. All right, what about District 6, Ms.
Yes,
Rich?
thank you very much. I'd like to announce that there is a forum tonight for the two candidates that made it into the runoff. This will be at the Connie Hudson Senior Center. It is at 6:30 p.m. I think it's due to last an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Again, a runoff election is usually very quiet. Unfortunately, even the general election was extremely quiet. So I hope that more people will pay attention. This will be a wonderful opportunity to come out and listen to the candidates. I have not been involved in this forum because I was very hesitant to do anything that would be overt because of my endorsement of one of the candidates. But again, this is a great opportunity. Again, 6:30 at the Connie Hudson Senior Center, and I really hope it gets a good turnout. And I understand that they'll also be live streaming it on Facebook as well. So again, District 6 residents, take this opportunity so that you can make a very educated decision when you go to the polls on October the 5th. Thank you.
All right, District 5.
No announcements.
All right, District 4.
I have nothing, thank you.
All right, District 1.
All righty, thank you, Mr. President. For the citizens of Trinity Gardens, there are two agenda items that we will be voting on next week. They're being held over for a week that would have some effect on the community. I want to start off with number one, that we're going to be spending over $700,000 for improvements in Trinity Gardens Park. This is a contract. So once we get the contract approved, we should have construction going on out there before long. And then the other one is, I was hoping this time, what we have been doing is closing 2 streets per year, closing the ditches on 2 streets per year, which would mean 4 ditches, because we have parallel ditches running on both sides of the street. Okay, so I had my $1 million, because it was about $500,000 per street, had $1 million ready to close 2 streets this year also. The bids came in almost $800,000 for 1 street. Well, it was more than $800,000 for 1 street. So I don't know what went up. I don't know whether it was labor, material, but the price almost doubled on those streets. So this year we will be closing Greenback Drive. It's the only one we'll be able to get, and it's costing us $780,000 plus the engineering work that's going along with that. That's what it's going to cost just for Greenback Drive. So, still, it's good news that we are still in the business of closing ditches, and we have a lot of good venues coming to the Trinity Gardens Park. Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. And Mobile, we have a very, very exciting week ahead of us. We have a big game that's coming to town with the Gulf Coast Challenge. It's going to be the 4th annual Gulf Coast Challenge with Alabama A&M and also Tuskegee. We know we have a lot of alumni that lives here in Mobile that went to both schools. But the committee has put together a great week for the city of Mobile. Start on Wednesday. They will have a college and career fair at the Renaissance Riverview Hotel from 9 a.m. until 1 o'clock p.m. And they also will have a kickoff concert this coming Wednesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Will feature Alabama-owned Ruben Studdard. And also on Thursday, they will have a business network reception at the Renaissance Hotel from 5:30 p.m. until 7 p.m. And they are also going to have a second line parade on Friday night, starting at 6 o'clock p.m., along with a concert again with the Yin Yang Twins starting at 8 o'clock p.m. And this will be held at the Cathedral Square. Following on Saturday morning with a Ghost Coast Challenge parade at 11 o'clock a.m. and the game will kick off at 4 o'clock p.m. Many times you hear citizens always state there's nothing to do in Mobile. Well, between Wednesday and Saturday, we have plenty to do here in Mobile. Asking every citizen in Mobile to please take advantage of this event, especially the free events that the Gold Coast Challenge is bringing to our city. And again, we do congratulate the committee for putting this together for the citizens of Mobile. And again, for Districts 3 and District 2, if you ever need me, please call me at 208-7441 with the area code 251, and also my cell 604-4367, and email cj.small@cityofmobile.org. Again, I will take the challenge of taking Reverend Manson calls until November 1st when his seats get occupied. Anything from the council?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr.
I forgot to announce that on Friday, Mobile Downtown Alliance will be having their annual meeting at the Bell House. And at their annual meetings, they announce, they give an award out to someone who has contributed greatly toward downtown. This year, they're going to be honoring Fred Richardson because of what the Moon Pie has done for the downtown merchants. $5.6 million in economic impact every year. We didn't have it last year. We will have it this year. Buckle up, bring your seatbelt. It's on.
And congratulations to you on Councilman Richardson on a well job done, and especially with the, your vision with the moon pie drop to make it what it is today. Anything else from the council? Yeah, I'll hold for a second. Anything from administration? Okay. Can I get a second? Second. Okay. We have a motion, been properly seconded in the discussion.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Shonda, can you?